Alrighty, talking a little further about how we're going to flash the 3 grill lights and the 2 outer fender lights here. Okay, I'm going to try to make this easy. So, this is the main parking wire coming into the grill on the vehicle side, right? So we can still take the grill off and everything. So, the blue wire right here in this 2-wire connector is your parking. You can see I've cut it and I've taken the feed and I'm running it back this way. Now, I'm using bulk wire, but you can use any kind of wire. It doesn't matter. I'm feeding this back there. My orange and yellow are going to feed my auto flasher. And coming back from that, I've got a white and a green. Now the green, I went right to the standard connector, and that's going to flash by default all 3 lights in the grill if we plug it in like this. But I want to repower the center light in the grill because I want an alternation. What I'm going for is the 2 lights and then the outer fenders in the center. So it's going to be 3, 2, 3, 2. And that means I need to split this up. So I'll have to get to behind that center light. And right now on this grill, this is all pretty, and it comes into this connector over here, right here, 2-wire connector. We're going to add a 3rd wire in here, and it's going to go back to this 3rd light. Okay, and we're going to put that 3rd wire right there, and it's going to come through. And we're also going to add the 3rd wire into here. So by popping this back part off, you're able to remove one of these little studs, and you can see the seals are still there. So right above that blue, I'm going to insert a wire of my own, and that's going to power the 3rd light right here off of the white wire here, okay? I'm also going to split that white wire before the connector here, and I'm going to take it this way, and I'm going to repower that outer light from the split off white. I'm also going to take another leg this way. I'm going to repower that one, and what that's going to do is it's going to repower the fenders and the center off of my white output, my output number 1, and the green is feeding the connector into the grill that's still connected to lights number 1 and 3 on the grill, the outer lights of the grill. That's going to go on my output number 2. So that's going to be alternating output 1, output 2, output 1, output 2. And it's going to give me a 3-2-3-2 flash on the front of this Raptor. And it's going to allow us to be able to take the grill off the Raptor and have any and all wiring mods done back here. I'm going to do the wiring repower on the vehicle side of the fender skirt. So if the fender skirt ever needs to be removed, it's not a big deal. We're going to modify the vehicle harness that never comes out, and we're going to bring it around in here. And yes, we did modify a harness a little bit. Yes, we did cut a factory wire. However, that's how we're going to do the 5 orange marker lights on the front of these new Raptors with our auto flasher. If you want to do it different, rock on, do it different. But that's how we're doing it. And that's how you can match exactly what I'm doing here and still retain the ability to take your truck apart without having additional connectors or having to cut wires. That's the goal here, is to not have your grill or your fender skirts tied to the truck via aftermarket wiring where nobody can work on it. You need to be able to take the truck apart if the dealer ever needs to do some major service without chopping apart everything you paid big money to put in. Alrighty, fast forward a few minutes, and here's what we have. So I went ahead and did the white connector here. You can see it's coming in 3 into 1. These 2 are wrapping back around here. We're going to have a single here that's going to run that way. Our 4 wires we tidied up, we're going to run this way and keep right behind the headlight here. And then these 4 wires are green, white, orange, and yellow are all going to go back to our auto flasher module over by our aux over there, where we'll do our power and all that by the aux. So we've got this connected into here. As far as the length, I'm looking at, we got about 48 inches, I would say, on this, and I would say about 6 feet probably for the white lengths, because I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to run them down here, and then out to that fender to repower, but I want to leave plenty of wire in case somebody has to move it or mess with it. So that's what this is going to look like. We're going to clean it up and everything a little bit, tidy it up, but that's what we're doing. And then we can't make this like a plug and play because you have to still get into that grill. I'm still going to break this open and repower that center from the grill. So this is a little bit more involved. Doing these Raptors in the front, to do them the way I do them, splitting up those 5 lights, there really isn't no way to make this plug and play. There's no room on the outer edges here for the connectors to put in an adapter connector or anything really. So if you want this look, this looks like the way we're going to have to do it, which isn't all that horrible, to be honest. All right, everything's tidied back up. I may have to do a little bit of stash in this because we've got a little bit more here than what was factory, but you can see this is all tied back up. I came this way. The goal here is to get all this wiring tucked away behind the active shutters so it's not in the way of anything. So I followed the factory loom. I came this way. I'm coming down behind the back of the headlight, and I'm tied off on that bar right there, and that brings my single white over here that I can repower that light with. Over here, I kind of went underneath here, tied off here, came over this way, out and back and behind the headlight and out that way. Like I say, goal here is to not be interfering or affecting with that surround here. We've got some air sealing all around this to keep the Raptor cool, keep the air going through the coolers where it needs to go. So we want to try to avoid interfering any of that. And that's how we ran the wiring. Next up, modify the grill, connect the outers here, and then we can assemble this thing and kind of be done, in the front at least. We do have to mount 4 emergency lights in this grill behind the honeycomb as well, and I'll be putting those on a separate weather pack connector so the grill can come out with those left in, and then there'll be 4 sound off emergency lights in here as well. This truck's getting quite a bit of stuff. Still got some ditch lights that are going up on the top as well, so this is going to be a cool build when it's all done. All right, so here we are with the grill separated from the active shutters. Those are kind of a pain to get out, actually. There's some 10mm bolts. We took this whole bottom plastic panel off, and then you have to fish back through also in the front here. There's this little thing, and it goes in, and then the camera wire and the washer nozzle go through it. And it's tedious. You need to get up underneath there, pop this loose to give you some room to be able to get this out. It kind of slides in from the bottom to that retainer, but the retainer goes into the top. So these two are kind of a pain in the neck. Here we have a little clip, and here's that harness. Now this is the other side. Remember I told you I was adding that green wire. You can see there I just went right across from the factory wire to match up with the one we added on the truck. And we ran that green wire right here through factory, follow the loom. See, there it is there, there it is there. And we basically repower the center light here. Now this is the center light, and here's the center light connector. So I just took the factory wire and put shrink wrap, capped it off there, and repowered it from here. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna allow an alternation of the 2 outer lights against the middle light by repowering it from a new wire. So that's the detail on the grill here and how it comes apart. Don't forget there's some fasteners here. Here's the studs that the bolts or nuts are going to go on for the active shutter insert. And if you're heavily into modifying your truck, you might want to just take this active shutter system and retain the motor and throw the rest of it out. That's up to you if you want to get rid of that. A lot of guys will get rid of that and just have a free-flowing grill for a little better cooling, but your choice on that. That's what we did with the grill. Hopefully that helps.